You suck.
Hello and welcome back to the XVI Dynasty newsletter. Week 4 is over and our first division matchup is in the books. Let's get right into the action. To kick us off, Sunglasses at Night breaks the record for lowest points in a single game once again at 50.70 points. And this week doesn't look much better, so expect a new low next week. Moving on to power rankings, Ford Motor Company holds on to his spot at number 1, which makes for the first time someone has held the number 1 spot for more than 1 week. Rip and Dart, Sniffin' Farts, and Read About Tracy's Cubs make big jumps as they both have big wins this week. Unfortunately for Ward of the Rings and KOC and Balls, they lose big pieces as Malik Neighbors and Tyreek Hill have major knee injuries and are out for the year. Looking at the conference standings, we have no more undefeated teams, but still 3 winless teams. Ford Motor Company and Ward of the Rings hold the lead for their respective conferences. However, Conference A has a 5-way tie for first when looking at records only. One slip up and it becomes anyone's conference to win. Conference B is much more divided, and it's more likely we start to see a clear leader after a few more weeks. Next up, we have division standings. And the North has a 3-way tie for first, with the Stinky Fingers only 1 game behind, making this an exciting conference to watch. The East is more split than ever, as 2 teams are 2-2 and 2 are 0-4. The South is in a similar position as the North, where they see a 2-way tie for first, with ACL Aces and RB University tied at 3-1. Only 1 game behind is Read About Tracy's Cups and 9-1-1. Finally, the West is another tight competition for the lead, with Ward of the Rings and Huge Sack tied at 3-1. Not much to say about the rest of the division. Let's talk about the in-season tournament. Read About Tracy's Cups takes the lead after a monster week, and we have 3 teams following close behind. If you didn't win this week, don't worry, there's still 2 more weeks to post wins and score as many points as you can. Unfortunately, our matchup of the week was not much to watch this week, as its Devon Shower handle was crushed by Ford Motor Company by nearly 70 points. Better luck next time. Our new matchup of the week is going to be number 3 ACL Aces versus number 5 Read About Tracy's Cup. ACL Aces is going to be without Lamar Jackson this week, which could make this lopsided. However, almost all of our matchups this week could be a pretty one-sided matchup, so any upset that happens is going to be a huge one. Let's quickly discuss Spotlight Player of the Week. And this week, we looked at a debut rookie in Jackson Dart, and he showed off against the Chargers defense, scoring 21.84 points. If he can keep this up, he'll be a huge piece for Rip and Dart, Sniff and Fart. Our new Spotlight Player of the Week is going to stay in New York, as we're going to take a look at KOC and Balls' Cam Scatabo. He has broken out in a very solid way, and he has the potential to have a huge game against a bad New Orleans team. This Cran Eater is in for a big week of smashing helmets and laying major blocks for his QB. We don't have any rumors this week, but I do want to take a moment to mention that last week, an anonymous GM put Huge Sack on Fraud Watch, and he proved himself in a big way by getting the dub. I asked some GMs around the league what they thought of Huge Sack, and this is what they had to say.
Huge Sack sucks.
Fraudulent.
Bum.
Easily the worst 3-1 team in our league.
The weaker teams in the league.
Overrated.
Running back room over there is weak.
Free dub.
He's just a mess of a roster.
13 out of 16 the points for.
The tight end room over there is weak.
Chicken shit.
No offense.
Poorly managed.
Quarterback and receiver, they're thin.
Poorly ran.
Their scouting department doesn't have a lot of talent.
Can't scout talent.
Kind of like the Browns, you know?
And he's a bum.
I think we may have a league villain in the making. Now, here's what Huge Sack GM Josh had to say about the fraud allegations and the hatred pointed towards his team.
So I hear that Huge Sack is in a ton of people's mouths this week. And I think that's kind of ironic considering I wasn't even trying to win this year. But with how bad your guys' teams are, I think I got a shot. Not even full strength yet. My inbox is open, send me offers. And just remember, you suck.
That's going to be it for this newsletter. Week 5 brings a lot of bye week, so this is where your depth pieces can really shine. This is also a very important week for the in-season tournament, so make your wins count. Good luck, fellas.